Look at you, right? Okay, because this is awkward. Okay. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm 30 and I'm Cultural Attachee at a private organization. I manage and work on projects that showcases and highlight the unique culture of the organization. I was at Learning Lab, I think from 2000 I think, or 2001. Let's do this again. I think what I remembered most was my teacher, Miss Flora Chan. At that point, she was my English teacher when I was in Secondary 1 and Secondary 2. What I loved about her was that she was very fun, she was very animated, and I really looked forward to going to her classes every Friday, if I remember my class correctly. And I loved that she always encouraged discussion, getting us to think out of the box. And whenever we sort of discuss a certain topic in relation to some real life issues that comes up in our comprehension, passages and things like that, she will always make us take sides. And sometimes it's a side that we're not necessarily comfortable with, but then that made us think about the issue from a different perspective. And we had to have lively and friendly debates about them. So we'll always leave the class learning not just about a new issue, but also to learn a different perspective out of it. I think I'm really open-minded. I think that's the one trait that I can be really proud of. And it also has kind of come up when people do describe me. It's the idea that I can remain neutral in an argument because it's always about sitting down, listening to what someone else has to say, trying to see things from their perspective. I like making sure that everyone is comfortable, and that's kind of my role in any kind of social setting. No matter what we do, whatever our job may be, we're always with people. And when you come to learn to understand people, that's where you build lasting relationships as well, which is very important for my job because I work with many different people. You work with the company's management, you work with artists, you work with designers, and some of them come from all over the world. So you're also navigating cultural differences at the same time. We're not realizing it, everyone's actually working towards the same goal, but with different agendas. So it's kind of trying to navigate that and to peel off all these differences on the surface to align everyone towards the same commonality. That's how you have a project that ends happily, a project that's also effective, and a project that basically has impact on everyone's lives in that sense. I think it definitely has, and I think it goes back down to the idea of critical thinking, which the Learning Lab has always encouraged from day one. At that age, we were all learning exam skills. We were learning about writing the best essay, the best composition. But I think what I liked the most about the Learning Lab was we were sort of refining these skills, but it was really about understanding what was happening in the real world. So the passages were being taken from either news articles, New York Times and things like that. Things that normally children at that age wouldn't be reading. And we were doing that because it made us realize that we're just a very small part of a very big world. I think success is actually defined by ourselves, not so much by what society deems it to be. Having been a student myself, you always have there are few routes that have been drawn out for you. There are few clear routes that people define for you. But we don't have to necessarily go down these routes. Life is kind of like a Venn diagram, right? There's certain things that you like, there's certain things that you excel in, and what is that very nice sort of in between? And that's something we need to search for on our own. No one can define it for you, and the world's constantly changing anyway. There are some jobs that exist today that didn't used to exist in the past, and until you're exposed to them and you go, hey, that's something that I could see myself doing. And I think that's what's really important, to kind of give them that exposure to open up their minds and open up their experience as well. The one advice, or maybe the two advice I'll give them, is to stay humble and to always be yourself. When you decide that you believe in something, you talk about it, you bring it up, and more importantly, you do something about it.